It's another edition of CI Sports, and joining me today is Fighting Illini's men's basketball assistant coach, Tim Anderson, Coach Anderson, or to some, TA. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So people are gonna hear Fighting Illini men's basketball, Tim Anderson, they're immediately gonna think like, oh yay, they're talking about basketball. But for CI Sports, I really wanna be intentional about peeling back a layer of personality to the people we watch on the court, especially for our Illini fans. Would it be accurate for me to say that you have a heart for the community?
I mean, absolutely. I mean, where we come from, that's really important for me to be able to continue to stay there. Like for me, I never wanted to make it out the hood. I always wanted to make the hood a better place. And people that look like us, and just to get a voiceless a voice, and for me, that's really important. That's a part of my purpose. Mm-hmm. So,
where do you think that love for community? Well, first, what does community mean to you as far as its definition?
Family. Just where you're from. Most of the things that you learn in life are conditional, and you learn it from, the people that you're around, good or bad. And for me now, even I'm 41 years old, I'm still unlearning some of the behaviors that I learned. Mm-hmm. And it helps me on a day-to-day basis as a father, as a friend, and just trying to be the best version of myself so I can be good to the people around me. The community means to me tight-knit, growth, love, and just ability to be together.
Mm-hmm. What is the difference between community and family, in your opinion?
I really don't think it's as different. If you go your immediate family, that's your, responsibility. But for me, I know my purpose. So my purpose in life is to make everyone or whoever I touch be a better version of themselves, or be happy, or to be in a better place, whether it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 years, or 10 years. And that's what I really live by. And a lot of people say that, and you can get into the religious piece and all that. Of course, I believe in God. But I know my purpose. My purpose is to whoever I touch to make them better than they were before I came in contact with them.
At what point did you discover your purpose here on earth?
It's crazy because you continue to find things, and when you're younger, you see a lot of things that you have to unlearn. Our community, normalizes a lot of things that's not normal, and not to say any other community is good or bad or whatever, but just for an example, it's not a lot of kids that's in non-black communities or non-Hispanic communities getting killed at 13, 14 years old via gun violence. If you go to the white community or the Caucasian community, they really don't get killed at 13, 14 years old, but we normalize that. If little Joe get killed, everybody get a T-shirt and go to the funeral. That's not normal,
right.
And where I came from, the community embraced the game bangers more than they embraced the guys that was, doing the educational things and leading. So for me, I was confused when I was younger. So I'll go to school, and my granny used to always say, you got to go to school, you got to make some of yourself. But the teachers wasn't happy with their jobs, and the guys that was in the community was making more money than the teachers. Mm-hmm. So I'm confused, Granny. Why do I want to go to school and I can stay here and make money? But so many things that you have to unlearn. And again, for me, the piece is just continuing to grow and evolve and be able to help, and then give the people that don't have a voice, give them a voice.
How do you continue to unlearn certain behaviors that's made normal within the Black community?
Well, and I think that's a part of growth. And that's continue to correct yourself and continue to surround yourself around other cultures. And some of my best friends are Jewish, Asian of descent, and I'm around them. I'm around their families, so I'm seeing how certain things is, even with my own family. How to be a better father. And for me, that's important to continue to learn, because sometimes where you at, like we said, that you're going to be conditioned to only know what you know. Mm-hmm. And if you don't get outside that box and be around other people and other cultures, you wouldn't know. And a lot of times we have this ill feeling towards other cultures or whatever, because we don't know and they don't know us. But I've learned a lot from so many other cultures and how they, deal with their kids and, how they sit together and eat and how they pray. And again, a lot of this stuff is so touchy. The religious piece is so touchy, so I try not to get into that. Just as touchy as the presidential, election. You can say, oh, I'm supporting this person and someone won't like you. Or I'm supporting Trump, someone won't like you. I'm supporting Camila. And it's just, it's crazy because people pass judgment. But again, for me, it's continuing to grow and just continuing to be around different people and take myself and be able to take whatever I learned back to my people. And when I say my people, that's just not black. I got best friends that are white. I got best friends that are Asian. So just being able to do that and be that person to, help bridge that gap to see that, because when we were growing up, you hear some of the craziest things, oh, don't trust her, don't trust no girl. And like, that girl, that's my mother. That's my sister. That's my daughter. You know what I'm saying? So all this stuff we have to unlearn, and it's just, again, where we're from, we normalize certain things. It's not normal.
Okay, can you paint the picture of where you're from and at the same time compare that to you being your authentic self within the business of Division I basketball? Mm-hmm. So you come from here, but you exist in this space.
Right.
What does that look like for you? So
I'm from Chicago, Henry Horner Projects, born and raised, and I spent a lot of time in Rockwell Gardens. So that's low income housing. Was raised without a father, didn't know my dad, didn't use it as a crutch because, again, most people around me didn't have a father. So I didn't know, you know what I'm saying? And people ask me to this day, do you feel some way about your dad? I didn't know. I mean, it was okay for me because none of us had dads. I had my grandmother, I had my auntie, and those was the two that raised me. And again, is that emotion something you feel like you have to unlearn as well, like of almost being numb to something that we make normal in the Black community, but that should not be normal? Absolutely. But again, I try not to focus on it as much because I don't want to use it as a crutch. And then, I have my kids, my boys every day, and to continue to be the best version of myself for them. And again, I'm learning how to be a great dad or a better dad. Just because my kids live with me doesn't mean I'm doing my best. I want to get up and take them to school. I want to go to this. I want to do that. And a lot of times I get home because of basketball and they're asleep, and that wears on me. But again, I'm from the city. I was born and raised in Chicago, and for me, culture is important. For me to continue to be who I am. And also continue to be a role model for the guys that I'm influencing or recruiting or on the team. I'm me. I can't be nobody else. I can't do that. But within these guidelines, I'm going to continue to be myself and try to give them the reason, hey, you don't have to always dribble out the hood and make it to the league. You can be a successful coach. You don't have to rap your way out the hood. There's so many other ways that you can be successful and you can feed your family for the rest of your life. And for me to be that for them to be able to see that, hey, you can be successful, because I was the same guy that was in the community and get through drinking and pop and throw it down because I saw older guys do that. So now I'm the guy that's, when I'm around, I'll pick it up because I'm hoping somebody watching like, man, that's TA. TA picked that up. That's cool to do. I'll get through eating a 6-piece wing and throw it out the window. It was, you don't know because you saw that. So now a lot of that stuff you have to unlearn, and you got to be able to be there for them to see that, so they can see, hey, it's cool to pick trash up. Mm-hmm. It's cool to get through drinking and find a garbage and put it in, not just get through drinking and throw it down. Right. So again, that's important for me. And then, the way I live, and you know me, more so than a lot of people, personally, you're in my life for real, you and Jay and Kai and Corey, like those are my babies, at the end of the day. So for me, when I say this, people, they don't understand it. I'm 41 years old, so it's a clock ticking somewhere, and I'm more closer than going out than coming in now. And what I mean by that, I have to make everything count, So if we got a guy, Ty Rogers, Morez, or whoever, I want them to see me for me. This is how I dress. This is our culture. This is who I am. Don't be ashamed to be who you are. you don't have to dress. You don't have to wear suits. You know what I'm saying? If you go into a business situation, you dress like that. But if you want to dress, you wear what you want to wear. This is our culture. This is who we are, and be proud of that. And there's nothing wrong with that, you know? So for me, just continue to be who I am, to be that, and to show them, hey, you can be yourself, and I can go have a conversation with Barack, or I can go have a conversation with the guys in the hood. And it doesn't, you know, I can figure it out what I need to be.
Is it easy for you to be your authentic self in any area, any room, at any level?
No, absolutely. I think that was one of the things my granny, you know, kind of instilled in me at an early age. Hey, you have to be yourself because everybody else is taken. So, you know, sometimes, you know, when you're younger, you want to be this and you want to be that. And what I found that, hey, what's for me is for me. What God has for me is for me. And I know my gift, and I know my purpose, and I want to walk in my purpose, and I want to be the best version of that for whoever, whether it's whoever I'm, you know, helping. So again, once you find out who you are, and you'll be, you know, content with that, but you want to continue to push and you want to help. You know, for me, the community is way more important, you know, than the basketball piece. And a lot of times I go back and forth with that. You know, I'm able to help people, and I'm able to be impactful, but I think I should be doing more. I know I can be doing more, but it's so much time that's obligated into being a basketball coach, you know. But again, you know, I know my purpose, and I know what I want to do.
Yes. Does that help? I don't know, like channel the guilt you may feel from, like, I'm hearing the things you're saying. I'm hearing you say, like, how you didn't have a father. However, you didn't want to use that as a crutch. I hear how much your granny means to you. And I wonder what might have replaced that void. But I also wonder see how aware you are of your purpose. And although you're like reaching your dreams and living out your purpose, you still identify the guilt you may feel with like going home and not being there with the boys when you want to, or there with your wife as much time as you want to spend with her. So my question is, how do you channel your emotions? Because at the same time, I also see so many people give you so much love. Mm-hmm. And I guess the thing that I'm hearing is the emotions you're able to identify in all of these different areas in your life. And I'm wondering how you channel those emotions.
It ain't easy, I tell you that, you know, because you fight a fight every day once you understand who you are and once you know what your purpose is. And sometimes your family has to sacrifice a little bit, because I think once you put structures in place for them to be okay for the rest of their life, you know, I have a bigger calling. And for me, is to be able to be there for Kai, to be there for Corey, whether it's basketball or not, and be there for you. If you, coach, what about this? Or coach, what about that? Or coach, you know, what are you doing? I want you to do this with the boys or whatever.
Or can you come so I can interview you?
Absolutely. So, you know, this is important for me. And again, you know, and I really feel in my heart, like whoever I come across, and I mean, you know, Jay is tough. And me and him has a really good relationship. It's been times we was gonna throw blows, but that's still my little brother, and I'll do anything for him. And my purpose for him or whoever, to make him a better version of himself. You know what I'm saying? Because the things that he does as a father, I'm looking at like, wow. And he inspires me. Every time I see him, he got his boys, whether, you know, and that's important, you know, for me. So I want to be that. There's some stuff I see in him that I want to be, you know, and he don't even know that, you know. And I think at the end of the day, you know, for me to be able to see that and grow, you don't have to be in the NBA, or you don't have to be the president. You don't have to make $1 million. Like, I'm growing every day. I'm seeing Jay be a great dad when he got his boys with him every time, you know, bringing them to the gym. That's important, you know. Yes. So I want to be that. So just continuing to learn, and that's really important and impactful for me. But I think the piece, I don't really feel guilty, but I know I want to do more. I know my purpose is bigger. So now that, for me, I know I want to, you know, like my community center and building a trade school.
Talk about, because this isn't the first time you brought up like the community service that you have a passion to provide to, whether it's Chicago or Champaign. paint that picture for us. If you weren't coaching and had the time to give to the community like you desire, what would that look like?
So I have a violence prevention program in Chicago called the RAIN Project, and a project we work on alongside Major Adams, which was a pillar in our community. And again, he was one of the guys that I looked up to. We have a lot of guys, Kenny Butler, Sonny Parker. So I didn't have that void as a father, but I had a lot of father figures in my life that played that role, that showed me, and they was pretty tough on me, I'll tell you that. And you know, people think like, oh, they the nicest people. No, they told me some of the realest stuff that I have ever heard in my life. And Ken will snatch me up, and Sonny will snatch me up. And at the end of the day, I'm real grateful to him, and I talk to him almost every day because they was integral in my success. So for me, I feel like, so I'm in the process of opening up a trade school. You know, I don't feel like college is for everybody, and here's my thinking with that. You can graduate from college and you can, you know, go into take a class 8 months and become an engineer, or work for People's Gas, or come ed, or truck driving. There's so many different things you can complete, and you can come out when you're 18, 17 years old and making $80,000. For me, and it's crazy because this is something else that we have to, you know, to understand in our community. Kids can't see doing 4 years of college, but they can go do something crazy and they'll be in jail for 40 years. Mm-hmm. So now I'm not giving them a pass, but I'm giving them an outlet to have choices, you know. So we'll have 12 different disciplines. We'll have disciplines for females, for males, and then, you know, you'll figure it out. You got hair, nails, engineering, construction, a lot of different things like that, truck driving. So some things that you can come out and you can make a lot of money from doing, and then you can put yourself in a position to have a trade. And if you want to go back to school, you go back to school. But now, you know, you're in a position to make money and be a leader. So that's important for me, that piece. And that's what I struggle with, because I need to have 10 toes on the ground to do that. And I think I'm, you know, doing an okay job being able to impact people and help people, but I know my purpose is way bigger than just being a coach. And again, you know, the craziest thing, everybody in the neighborhood roots for me, roots for the U of I when they see me, because it gives them validation. And it feels good. But for me, you know, I want to do more, you know, so.
I'm only thinking about which direction to go from there, because you said so much and it was all so good. Let's go to relationships. I feel like Illinois men's basketball has found a great relationship builder intertwined into you as a coach. Would you say, like, based on my research, relationships may be your thing, correct?
Absolutely.
I want to know what goes into a good relationship with the player.
I think trust. I think building, sitting down, talking, having hard conversations, just being real, you know, not being able to tell them, you know, telling them when you're messing up. And I think that, you know, for me, you know, having guys like Derrick Rose and Jabari Parker and AD and Max Strus and all these guys that came from up under me or came through me, they validate me. So these guys that I'm recruiting or dealing with, you know, it gives them like, oh, okay, TA knows, you know what I'm saying? So that kind of gives me a leg up, and I'm just real. You know, you've had conversations with me. This is how I am. Mm-hmm. And so I think they understand that. You know, I'm not going to tell them, hey, no, this is what we have to do, and this is how you have to do it, and if this is what you want to do, I'm going to help give you a GPS to get there, you know, so.
Can you tell us about a time where you didn't feel accepted within the community?
I don't know. So I really don't know. I mean, I don't know.
Okay, that's fair.
Oh well, maybe my first couple of days here. So I went to when I came here, I went and hooped at Urbana, mm-hmm. and you know the guys didn't know who I was, Jay and all those guys. I had next. And it was my next, and they picked another team over me. So I'm furious. I'm like, it was my next, and they picked another team. I'm like, okay, you know, I get it. So, you know, when I got on the court, I'm the oldest guy, he new guy, you know, I get it, I understand that. But I know, you know, it's kind of the, you know, the initiation process. But I'm like, this is me, you know what I'm saying? This is, you know, you don't know who I am. But that's the craziest part, though, you know, just being able to integrate. And for me, is way more important because, you know, I've been blessed. I make really good money, and I got a really good family, and I can go to the U of I and I got everything I need there, and I can go right down Kirby and go home every day. But I choose to go to either hang with the guys at Central or Centennial because, you know, that makes me whole. I want to be around these guys. Like, I love being around Jay West, PJ, Dubs. Like, these are my guys, you know what I'm saying? So for me, you know, being able to find some guys that help give me an outlet so I can be myself, so we can talk stuff, we can play basketball, we can kick it, you know, because that's who I am. Basketball coach is just a part of what I do. You know, being with those guys, having hard conversations with Wes, arguing with Jay, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's who I am, you know? So it's crazy because one time me and Jay got into it. I was like, I hope this big dude don't steal on me. He said, all right, coach, I'm saying, and I'm going back at him. I'm like, man, I hope he'll do this today. And it's funny because I recount so many things and you see where you at today and the growth. And just from basketball, you know how you can gain so many relationships. And man, I love these guys, man. And I wish people can understand that and be able to tie the community in because, again, you know, they know all our guys, and especially the guys that I'm around, I always bring them around those guys because I want them to know there's no way you can be here and not know who PJ, not who Jay, not know who Jay or what. Like, what are we doing? Like, this is the community. Like, you're representing the university, but the university is the community. You need to know these guys. You might be out at a restaurant. You might be here. You might get in trouble. You might want to get on the phone. Hey, Jay, what's up? I'm here. Or Wes, I'm here. And that's important to have those relationships. So for me, I lead by example, you know? And again, I don't, you know, I'm comfortable because this is what makes me feel good. Like, the coaching piece is the coaching piece, but being able to go hang out with those guys after a long day, and that's who I am.
Yes. Is trash talking ever good for a relationship within the basketball realm? Would you say, yes, trash talk is good when it comes to basketball?
Absolutely.
It's good?
Absolutely. We can't stand each other. We in the group text every day. I'm talking stuff to them and talking stuff. And it's, I think, and it's, you know, but it's love, though. It's like nobody's never going to do anything. You know, it's just, it's competitive. You know, I'm 41 years old. First of all, I can't do nothing with these guys in my mind athletically, so I got to try to get a mental advantage. You know, man, come on, PJ, he's really good. Wes good. Jay good. Dub. You know, these guys are really good. So you got to try to get a mental edge on these guys, and they don't go. You know, they don't go for it. So, you know, we talk stuff back and forth, and that's what, you know, fulfills me. That's what gives me fulfillment to be around these guys because I know that they're like me and they love basketball and we love the same thing, you know, and then if I can be able to help them in any type of way and they can be able to help me because, you know, just them being there, me having a text conversation, that helps me.
Yes.
You don't have to always help somebody financially. You don't have to always help somebody by talking to them. Just be there.
Okay. I could talk to you all day long and it would be my treat because your wisdom comes out in like your answers and your storytelling, and I love it. And I know that our viewers are going to value that. I will wrap up though with a few last questions. Are you aware of your impact that you've had on this community, the Champaign-Urbana community, and Chicago? Are you aware of your impact?
I honestly never think about that because I am the community. Okay. I am them. They are me. So many conversations I have with these guys on a day-to-day basis, whether it's T, Monte, all these guys every day, and I'm talking to them, and this is who I am. And I mean, I have never had a chance to sit back and say, hey, I'm doing this and doing that. Like this, I am you. You know, we're the same. And just because I'm coaching at the University of Illinois makes me no different. You know, we're the same. And I just hope I'm making a difference. I hope I can make whoever life again better than it was before I came in. Again, if it's 5 minutes, 5 years, or 50 minutes, you know, I want to, you know, be impactful and be helpful, and I know that's my purpose. So whether it's Chicago, whoever, again, I got to tell the guys, you know, I don't ever have to get off on the Western or the Damon exit another day in my life, but I do. I can't wait to get off on those exits. I can't wait to go and be in the hood. I can't wait to go sit down and talk stuff with the guys or go to barbecues because that's who I am. You know, coaching is just a part of what I do and the professionalism. But, you know, I think for me to be there for them, and it ain't about changing because you do change. Mm-hmm. You know, everything got an expiration date, whether you stop talking to them, whether you die, whatever. But just because I'm comfortable being there and I want you to know that you can be successful in life in so many different ways, no matter what it is, if you lock in to do it. So
yes. Okay, I would be remiss not to sneak in one basketball related question specifically. How would you describe the culture of this past Illinois men's basketball team that resulted in you all going to the Elite Eight compared to other years where you all didn't see that long of a stint of success?
So I think it was player led. I think TJ, Coleman, Marcus, those guys, Quincy, Justin, those guys was really integral of leading. Our culture is really important to us, the way we do business on a day-to-day basis. And I think that's why we're able to win a lot of games, because that's who we are. And again, I said every day, when it's 62-62 against Michigan on the road, our culture should beat them. And because of how we handle business, and again, I think it all came together. We had really good pieces. We had an older team. And they were about business. And again, when I first came here, I was at DePaul University, and people will label them as a loser or label me as a loser. So Brad was kind of skeptical about bringing me on, because Brad is all about winning, and Brad hates losing more than he loves winning. So he's a horrible loser. If he lose one game, you're gonna know about that for 7 days. He's not gonna let it go from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. every day. He's gonna go. And again, but just being here, and it helped me a lot to come here and to be accepted and to find a role in the niche as far as development, recruiting, player relations, defense, offense, and to be here 3 years and to have 2 Big Ten championships and Elite Eight. I mean, hey, we're getting some stuff done. But again, it starts with Brad. He lays it down, and we're soldiers. And again, I always say it's up to us to keep the quarterback clean. So.
Yes. Last question I always ask my guests: who should I interview next?
I mean, it depends. It depends on where you want to go with it. If you want to go with a player perspective, if you want to go with the community perspective, if you want to go with the university perspective.
Give me 3 then, because you named 3 different areas.
I think you should interview Bam Kylan Boswell.
Okay.
A guy that just came back here. And just you interview, and then maybe a Ty Rogers because he's been with us a few years. If you go the basketball route,
community route.
Reverend Willie
Comer.
Yes.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yes.
Our GM actually brought him up, and I'm like, I need to get him on the show.
Yeah, he's really dope. He's smart, and I'm gonna go another guy that's really deep in the community that knows a lot. His name is Eric King. He's like a chief, a sergeant with the sheriff department.
Okay.
So I think, far as the community base, he's well adapted. He knows what's going on. He sees, a lot of football, basketball, a lot of that. But I think Rev is really good. He's dope. He knows the language. He knows how to relate. He knows how to get stuff done, and he's huge on relationships.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Coach Anderson. I appreciate you for coming and being on CI Sports, and I know the community is going to eat this up because you dropped so many gems and really let your heart shine and your wisdom be shed on us all. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
That is all for now with Assistant Coach Tim Anderson. But if you know someone that you would like to feature on CI Sports, email me at Karidia Shelby at WCIA.com.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you. Yes.